French President Emmanuel Macron and EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen are set to visit China on Wednesday. The pair will hold talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping. China's foreign ministry says that discussions will be focused on deepening cooperation and international and regional hotspot issues. Now, reports say that Mr. Macron is seeking a major shift on China's support for Russia. For more on this, let's speak to Ross Cullen. Ross, the French president, as well as von der Leyen, they're holding these talks prior to the trip. What's the game plan? They want to be on the same page as far as China is concerned.
Yeah, hi, Dawn. Well, we know that these talks are going to be discussed today, Monday, a working lunch happening right now in the Élysée Palace between Ursula von der Leyen and Emmanuel Macron to lay out the framework for how they want their trip to go, their visit to China. It will be Emmanuel Macron's first trip to China since he was re-elected in June last year, but it will be the European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen's first official visit in her capacity as head of the European Commission. Just late last week, the Spanish Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, was in China for meetings with Xi Jinping, and that also lays the framework for what's going to happen in the second half of the year, because Spain is going to be taking over the rotating presidency of the EU Council from the 1st of July. Every 6 months, a different EU member state holds the rotating presidency, and they hold ministerial meetings in their country, and they can also advance things that their particular national capital is focused on. But we do know that Pedro Sanchez also toed the line in terms of the EU policy, urging Xi Jinping to speak to his Ukrainian counterpart, Volodymyr Zelensky. And the war in Ukraine will certainly be high on the agenda of Emmanuel Macron and Ursula von der Leyen's visit. We do understand that there could well be a trilateral summit on Thursday, April the 6th, later on this week between Xi, von der Leyen and Macron, but there could be a couple of other meetings as well between the three leaders more informally. But certainly Emmanuel Macron has said in the past he wants to urge Xi Jinping to use the Chinese leader's own personal influence with the Kremlin to push Russia to halt its invasion of Ukraine. And there will be urgings from the European Union side that if China does want to play a role in achieving a political negotiation to the end of what China calls a crisis, what Russia calls a special military operation, and what Ukraine calls a war in the country, then there cannot be just visits from President Xi to President Putin. There must also be more of an outwardly outreaching of neutrality. And so they will be urging Xi Jinping to at least call Volodymyr Zelensky, if not make an in-person visit to Kiev. Also on the topic will be the Indo-Pacific. France going there. The French president sees the Indo-Pacific as a domestic arena with 1.5 million citizens spread across the Indian and Pacific Oceans. So there will also be talks about that. Taiwan will come up because we have seen the issue related to Lithuania in the European Union opening a Taiwanese official office in the country and the problems that's had for China. But there could be some chance, Dawn, for alignment between the European Union, France and China, because they all are more or less on the same page in terms of increasing renewable energy use, reducing the use of plastics, protecting biodiversity and fighting climate change.